I'm just going to do a quick check. If you're in the chat, just let me know if this is coming through, because this is very last minute and I haven't done all the checks like we normally do. However, it all looks like it's working. So just shout if you can't hear us. Right, welcome to another Wednesday night chat, another Wednesday night live chat. We have loads of people waiting, as always, which is spectacular. Thank you all for joining. We've already got a thumbs up as well. I think that was like 30 minutes ago when we put this up really early. Ryan Cunningham, hey Mar, I'm on chat. Yes, you are. In terms of who is on the hangout with us tonight, we've got the spectacular Mike.
Hello.
The beautiful Phil.
Hello.
And the wonderful Rachel.
Hi.
So there's the four of us tonight. We've got some topics from people who sent them over between the website and Facebook, so we're going to go through some of those. And we also have some more 8th edition stuff. And we're going to do a quick run through of the chat. Most of the names have been listed, but we're going to go quickly through them. So we've got John Booth, who was here nice and early, watching Netflix while waiting. Brain Spider, Ryan Benfield, Basic Miniature Painting, Callum Rose, Tom Dunbar, Karanis, Gary Waddingham, Matthew Shannon. We've got loads. Void, 72. Talik, Tedious Payload, Ryan Cunningham, Kablams, Neddy the Ned, love that name, Dance Macabre, Johnny Rockstar, Jim Wilson, Ralph Hummel, Danny Yates, Dark Elf Dave, Tim Cafferty. We've got loads. Ernesto Diaz, Big McDanskull. I think that's everyone. And Tim Sant. And Ashley Perkins, if I didn't say that already. So thank you, and Zach Daniels. Thank you to everyone who has turned up. So that was quite a long list. We're going to get to the point where we're just going to have you all typing. If you are new to the chat as well, please put it up in the chat like Frank Storm has. I've not seen you before. Welcome. And Raymond Massey. Feel free to join in the chat, and we'll get through some comments as much as we can. Leave us some questions if you've got anything on your mind, and we'll go through that as well. I'm going to take this earphone out because it's doing my head in. No, I'm not. Put it behind. Ernesto Diaz, Katie Hunter, James Westwood. It keeps going. Right, Phil, what are we talking about? The first question we had was from Cynthia Sneed. It's not necessarily a question, but it was more of a suggestion. So she's recently joined us on the premium membership side of the website, and she is also a member of Tabletop Minions Patreon account, and they have a name for all of their collectives of patrons. So basically suggesting we have a name for all of the premium members for Wargamer Online. So what we would like is, after this goes through, I know there's a bit of time to wait, but if you are watching this back, at least you get this at the beginning. Put it in the comments below, a suggestion for the names of everyone who is a premium member for wargameronline.com. And that would be awesome, because we can get some names. We'd just like some suggestions, and we'll go through them all and pick the best one. And we'll shout out whoever it is that gets the one that we pick. So there's always that. Right, guys, what do we want to talk about?
Jim Wilson.
Jim Wilson. We want to talk about Jim Wilson.
Yeah, because he said we forgot to mention him when you listed him.
Sorry, Jim.
But that's going to go on all night now, because there's just a few more coming online as well. Dark Elf, Daniel Alder, Aranis. Hello, everyone.
Okay, Daniel Alder, when will you play Caradron Overlords, Phil?
Yeah.
When will you play them? Because you've got them. You just need to build and paint and play.
I'm trying to think in the order of armies I will be doing. I'd say realistically we're probably about 2 months out from me playing Caradron.
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot on.
I think realistically. I've got Gene Stealer cults to do. And actually then I was doing Caradron, because I'm probably going to use Nids and Eldar for 8th edition to start with, I think, because Nids are going to be fun, and I've got 4,000 points of those. And Eldar, I've got about 7,000 points, so I should have plenty of stuff to bring to the table. So actually, maybe a little bit sooner. Mm-hmm. But I am going to be it's the Caradron Overlords I'm going to be starting the airbrush tutorial series with.
With all the Vallejo metallics that they've sent.
Yes, absolutely, yeah.
That's going to be fantastic. We've got some suggestions on the names. Stick them down afterwards as well, because this chat will disappear, whereas your comments will not. So we've got the Numpties, from Neil Malden. That's, cool. Primarites.
There needs to be a
Wargamers.
special shout out for Johnny Rockstar there, the Illuminati.
Yeah, I was going to get down to that. That was a pretty good one. Kablams has put Wargamers, which is one that we initially thought of because we always say Wargamers and that kind of fits, but we just wondered what else there would be. Legends, so we can call all of our premium subscribers Legends, which they all are. Wargamer Primaris, I like that. Although I think GW might have an issue. Al Woods has joined us, welcome Al. And the Orc Boys. The Illuminati from Johnny Rockstar, that was a good one. Do you have an Ironclad, Phil?
I have them all.
Okay, that's good.
All.
Tim Cafferty would like the tutorial. So when we get the metallic airbrush tutorials, Phil will cover all of the airbrushing tutorials, but when he gets round to it, they'll all be done.
Yes.
How much is How much is premium from Danny Yates? £2.99 a month. That's Brain Spider actually said that. £2.99 a month, and it gives you loads of longer premium videos, extra battle reports, behind the scenes chats, and other bits and pieces. And the catalogue of videos is stacking up now. We're getting quite a lot. If Phil has his way, we would be his beardlings.
Yeah.
Oh, that is a nice term, though.
Beardlings. I like it. You missed my suggestion for lords and ladies. That's another nice one as well, Brain Spider.
Oh, that is nice. I quite like that. Anyway, that was meant to be for the end of the chat, and we've got lots to talk about. Yes, I would love Old One Eye to be viable as well. And in fact, I will be doing, for those people who've seen my NIDs, that's one of the few NIDs I haven't painted. I've done a custom Old One Eye. So I'll be painting that as well to show how I did my NIDs.
Brain Spider, you also put you get to see more of Rachel's cheating when you have premium.
Always a bonus. Not cheating, it's just bending the rules slightly.
Ignoring them.
Liberal application of rules.
Yeah. Okay, so the first topic after that was from Andrew MC. Andrew Mick. I didn't think he had. It must be Andrew MC. So, what army does everyone? This is the title of the live chat this week as well, actually, because I didn't think of anything else. But what is everybody fearing to fight in 8th edition? Phil, we'll start with
me.
Out of all of the armies, and obviously we won't go into the rules yet because we've got the next two questions. Let's go. So, which faction do you think deserve a bit of treatment, and which faction do you think are going to benefit the most from the new rules coming out? So they're the next two parts to this. But which army are you going to fear the most?
Okay, so I'm answering which army definitely, and not the faction that's going to gain the most and all the rest. The which army, I am probably going to be afraid of the new Primus guys, because they're going to get a lot of love and a lot of really cool rules. They're an unknown quantity at the moment.
And I think they're going to benefit. That was quite short and sweet.
No,
that's fine. You can answer more in the next two, because I think that's where it will come in. Mike, what are you worried about for 8th edition?
Worried about... I'm going to bundle them all into one. I think it's combat armies, especially like NIDs. Like fast-moving armies that have a lot of combat and big nasty monsters. I'm terrified. I'm not looking forward to going against NIDs, which I imagine I will do at some point against Phil.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's 4,000 points waiting.
Yeah.
And every single time he's used them at the minute in 7th, all you hear is, these are so amazing, but then grumble, 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 the rubbish. And now it's going to be, these are so amazing, and they're so amazing. Who wants to play a Tyranid game? Nobody. Rachel, what about yourself?
I don't really know the armies very well.
More Age of Sigmar, but in terms of tactics-wise, or which type of gameplay are you most worried about for 8th edition to fight against? Because we know what you like to play, but what are you worried to play against?
Yeah. Well, I guess because if I play 40k the same way I play Sigmar, I tend to like take in big beasties and big heroes and things. So probably snipers and anything that can pick those out. I imagine. So which armies all generally have snipers?
Well, you've got Tau, Firewall, and most armies have got something that can snipe, but Tau have got Pathfinder. No, what are they called? They've got sniper drones and things that can pick out characters. You've got Vindica Assassins, which are available to Imperial armies. You've got Vostroyan Snipers, although I don't think they're under Vostroyan Snipers. I think they're under like the Cadian Sniper rule. They will have it as well. And also there'll be probably Space Marine units, which all have access to Sniper. So I think anything with the Sniper ability.
All armors.
So specifically for you, you're not worried about armies, you're worried about the Sniper special rule, so they kill your characters.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. For myself, it's I think very similar to Mike, combat armies. However, I'm generally gonna be playing a combat army. I think I like to get up close and personal, so I am definitely going to be fearing the Tyranids and the Orcs, and I think specifically it's going to be the Horde units that are mixed with. I mean, you're going to have to build your list a lot better, because if you take a list which can beat Hordes, you're going to struggle with the tanks and the monstrous creatures a lot more in this edition than in current 7th. So I think without having a balanced list, I'm going to say fighting against an army which has got a very balanced list and a variation. What else?
We've all been as vague as possible.
That's that's as vague as it gets.
If I've got to pick an army, if I'm going to pick one army that I'm going to be scared of the most, I'd say, okay,
Space Wolf.
I'm going to go completely opposite. I would say Tyranids at the minute, but I'm also like quietly scared of Eldar, because every time they've gone, there won't be that much of a buff. It won't. Yeah, it'll be fine. It'll just, maybe they'll put the points up on something, and every time they've been sneaking up in power level. I'm really worried that this edition they've said everything's balanced, and then Eldar are going to get that slight advantage like normal, and Wraith Knights are going to be like on a whole new level. So I am slightly worried about Eldar, but I think Tyranids realistically are going to be the big worry for me. We've got some chat. Lots of chat. So Danny Yates saying, could call your premium guys cultists. Armor Freak saying, the pearlescent effect you get on your Nid carapaces makes me happy on the inside, Phil. So that's worth finishing the tutorial for that one.
I don't think you want to read any more about what they have to say about my Nids later down in the chat, though. Just watch out for that.
Philip saying, are they muted sometimes, or is it my internet? Is anybody else having issues with the chat? Because like I said, I didn't check this fully. If you can hear Phil coughing, then the sound is perfect.
I have had man flu. I'm on the mend, but I've had man flu.
Right, what else have we got? So Daniel's saying Rachel Lord Croak is the boss. Use him more.
Oh, I will. I have plenty. I'm thinking my next one could be Engine of the Gods mixed with Croak and some Skinks, maybe. I think that could be interesting. There's going to be nothing to that list.
If anybody hasn't yet watched the game that Rachel and Phil played, it was a 3.5 hour filmed game that managed to get down to like an hour and a half or something. There was a lot of debate about how things worked and combinations of things, wasn't there, Rachel?
I'm going to call it was training for Sam.
What do you mean training for me?
I wanted to, make sure you have plenty of editing experience.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Rach. You did that.
Anytime.
You definitely did that. Right, so Guard might be brutal this edition. That's Johnny Rockstar. We've got Frank Storm saying Death Guard. We're going to talk about that in a minute, because we've got the community showcase, or the highlight, whatever it's called. Danny Yates, the wolves should always be feared. Yes, indeed. Brain Spider, yeah, Imperial Guard are going to be very nasty under the new rules. Imperial Guard again. There's a lot of Imperial Guard players in here, which doesn't surprise me.
And I think quite rightly so, they will be fearsome. I'm hoping so, because they're... Yeah, I suppose this is the thing. They're saying they've just put everything up to level 11, haven't they? So hopefully it's just going to be crazy, massive bloodbaths. I think it'll be fantastic. So maybe everything needs to be feared. Wouldn't it be brilliant if that was the case? Like you showed up for a game and it didn't matter what you were up against. You'd go, oh no. That's what you want, isn't it?
Definitely.
It'll definitely make games more interesting if it's like that, where it's just a case of, I don't like that, I don't like that. But then your opponent's the exact same for your list as well.
Exactly, yeah. Be ace.
Rachel, you need to wave, sorry. Akaria keeps saying is waving and waving and waving. So just wave for Akaria.
Oh, it's cool. I've already replied.
Oh, okay.
Hi, Akaria.
Space Wolves might show some strength. Custodians will be nasty. Yeah, we've got a Custodians army to build, which is looking really nice. I think we've got 20 Custodian infantry, one of the dreadnoughts, and 2 of the upgrade packs. I think to do 10 of them with the shooty weapons, and we just need to get some vehicles. What else have we got? Right, so the chat is fine. Yeah. Skink armies. Choose.
There's a couple. Ernesto Diaz. I'm completely new to this whole world of wargaming between 40k 8th edition and Age of Sigmar Skirmish. Which would be the better entry level?
Age of Skirmish.
That's a good question.
Skirmish is different to Sigmar, though. So is that because you've just discounted Age of Sigmar, or because there's Age of Sigmar and Age of Sigmar Skirmish?
Sigmar, of course, would have the lower model count, so it'd be easy to get into if you've just got a few models. It does make sense, because with Skirmish, it's more or less 1 unit and a hero, isn't it, sort of thing. I know you can do other stuff, but essentially that's what it's like. So Skirmish would be probably the easier entry. Plus, if you're going into 8th edition, you've got a while to wait. So, get a few models together for Skirmish and play a few games, because the mechanics aren't exactly the same, but you'll certainly you'll break the back of the mechanics in terms of understanding how the game works. So when 8th comes along, things will feel familiar. So that's what I'd do. Get into Skirmish now. Just play a few games.
And if you would be, go into the other one, I would try Age of Sigmar as well. Just like a £50 box set, the starter boxes from Games Workshop is enough to play a game against somebody, more than enough. So if you grab one of those and find somebody else with a similar sort of box, then just start playing the game. It's really quite straightforward. I say straightforward, there's some armies like Rachel's and Pink's Corn Army where you've got loads of different abilities that all combine with each other, and that's where it gets a little bit more complicated, and trying to remember all of that isn't as straightforward as it is with certain Skirmish games, and that's where I think the level goes up a bit.
Yeah, but I mean, you can choose that, can't you? You could decide to take a much simpler army.
Indeed.
I just want to make life difficult.
Yeah, you enjoy confusing everybody.
Yeah, nobody followed that game. Not even me or Phil.
Brain Spiders put WGO needs more Age of Sigmar Nurgle action. Jack has got a fairly big Nurgle demon army, and I'm sure we'll be getting some Blight Kings and all that sort of stuff. Mortal Nurgle in the future as well, because he's all about Nurgle in every shape and form.
Yes, that's the plan. He's in the middle of his GCSEs, and that's why you've not seen much of Jack for a while. He just needs to get through the last 15 exams.
Mm-hmm. It'll be fine. Then he can play Warhammer.
But as soon as they're out of the way, he will be on it.
And obviously there's going to be a lot of Nurgle from the 40k side of things as well, because we're buying multiple boxes of Dark Imperium. So there's going to be a company's worth of Primaris Marines and the equivalent in Nurgle Marines. So there's going to be a lot of Nurgle on the way. What else have we got? Grenades are actually going to have some work. Cities of Death rule allows for grenades to actually work against units in cover. Yeah, I think that book that you get, you can buy it separately or you get it with the Dark Imperium box set, is going to have lots of rules which are going to be really good to play in city games. And we've got the city built, it just needs painting. And we'll definitely be able to play all types of games on that. Okay. Right, so that's which one, to be fair. Which faction, we'll go over this fairly quickly, which faction do you think deserves a bit of treatment? And I think that's combined with which do you think will benefit the most from the rules coming in 8th edition? Because I think they're kind of what is happening. I think the ones that deserve treatment are going to be brought up in line with the ones that don't need treatment. So, Mike, which ones do you think are going to benefit the most?
I think it's even the same as earlier, Nid. I think Nids for a long time has been one of those where most people won't play them because they just get trashed.
Yeah.
And with the new rules and the things they've done, like say for instance the movement, where they've said, I think it was I don't know if it's going to be all Nids or like the Gaunts and stuff, where they're going to be high movement.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to be getting across the table fast. And then they've also gone and said about units that are designed for combat are going to run through other units. So NIDs, it's going to be good for NIDs. They can do what they were designed to do now.
Definitely. It's the extra abilities from... We saw the Swarm Lord can give a unit the ability to move even further.
Yeah.
So on top of their fast movement, and the Gene Stealers have got the ability to charge after advancing. So they can move really fast in the movement phase and then still get that ability from the Swarm Lord and then charge after that. And so they're going to have incredible threat ranges now.
And then once if they win the combat, then potentially consolidating into another combat there.
Yeah.
So they are just going to swarm the table.
Definitely. It's going to be like, yeah, brutal. I was going to think of something then, but I'm too slow. Always strikes last time. Phil, what do you think? Which faction deserves treatment?
Well, the worst by far, I think, and Pink's not here to say this, of course, was Orcs. I think they really, 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 really struggled in 7th. And then coming from my personal perspective, Tyranids, as I've said before. We used to play house rules, which so we used to play like the endless swarm rule. So on a roll of 4, I got every single unit back, so, well, not every, if a unit was taken off the board in any turn, you roll the dice at the start of the next turn, and on a 4, it came back. And that just about made them competitive, really, against a well-built opponent. I actually won a few games with NIDs just playing standard rules, so it was possible to win. But if you're up against a gamer who knew what they were doing with their army, you were just wiped off the board. It was very difficult. So yeah, NIDs, but on behalf of Pink, Orcs. So I did 2 answers.
Rachel doesn't even play 40k at the moment. DRH, she played 1 game, I think. So
no, but I hear the Eldar are really underpowered, so they probably need a boost.
Dark Eldar, maybe. I think Dark Eldar needs some love.
Katie Hunt has just been saying, should I give up on my Dark Eldar army? There seems to be no love there whatsoever. So I think definitely when they updated the last codex, they did get rid of a lot of the special characters, and that was a downside, I'd say. But with the updates that they've had recently, the Drakari spotlight that they did on the Warhammer Community, they've said in there that it's definitely been improved. We haven't seen what poison weapons are going to be doing yet, I don't think. But all of those open top vehicles are going to survive a lot longer than they do currently. And all of your models inside of those open top vehicles can shoot out of it. You can block all of your squishy units with vehicles as well. I think using your transports as a shield is definitely going to be one of the major bonuses in 8th edition for Dark Eldar, and they're going to survive a lot longer than they currently do. And you know what happens when Dark Eldar manage to hit something, it dies. It's very glass cannony, so
yeah,
you've got brick cannons now. They'll still go down from las cannons and things, but they're not glass anymore. We've got some chat up here as well. I'm going to go through that. I saw painted 40k 8th edition mod 8th figures today. I think I might have to have a Nurgle army. That's from Al Woods. Yeah, they've been all over Facebook now. I think every store's had their intro game and down. Elster Nations, but I wonder if they'll have Primaris Custodes.
Yeah, that's an interesting one, isn't it?
Scale-wise, I think the Custodes are actually still bigger than the Primaris. I don't know. I think that was a scale that... What's that awesome converter? The guy who does amazing conversions. He's on our Facebook group. And I forgot his name, and I apologise. I'm going to find it in a bit, and I'm going to say who it is. He's done some incredible conversions, and he's done like a scaling list, and the Custodians were slightly taller than the Primaris. So whether that's true or not, I don't know, but...
Okay.
How much is the starter set? £95. Apparently, that's where it's been listed at. But there are a lot of places selling it a little bit cheaper. Obviously, you can buy it with discount. And then there's a lot of people saying Tyranids and Orcs. Yeah, Tyranids and Orcs all need updates. Akaria and Patrick Metzger have both asked about Warhammer Fest. We're going to go on to that after this segment. So we'll definitely talk about that. What else do we have?
I had Ryan saying that the new Death Guard models look pretty large for some reason. They hinted at that in one of the video releases, didn't they, or one of the leak releases, which is the Nurgle gods. The Chaos gods have not ignored the fact there's a bunch of giant marines rampaging across the galaxy, so they've started to boom their own armies in an attempt to fight back. So yes, expect scaled up Chaos armies as well, to a degree.
Akari has just said that ChillCon is all about the celebration of chili.
That's amazing. Would all of that.
It's not. We'll talk about ChillCon as well, because we've got that's another question from Dan Lavin, actually. I'm busy looking for that guy's name, so forgive me. Right, let's keep going. So what have we got? Wood cannons, yes. So the Dark Elves are now wood cannons, not glass cannons. I like that upgrade. That's what they're officially called from now on. In Age of Sigmar, do you think Nurgle and Slaanesh should get new units and battle tomes like Khorne and Tzeentch? Definitely. What do you guys think?
Yeah, absolutely. Mike?
It makes sense.
Great. I mean, this is just... Normally I can't shut you all up, and you're all doing your best not to talk over each other this week. I can't get a balance, can I? Last week it's blah, 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 blah. This week it's wait.
Well, actually, Phil and Mike are probably being polite. I just don't have a clue what I'm talking about.
Yeah, right. You and me will just have a chat. Mike and Phil can sit in the background and say yes and no.
I did say I'm recovering from man flu. If I talk too much, I start coughing.
Maybe that's what I'm not used to. I'm used to you talking at least as much as me.
I'm going to have to go.
Oh, right. So the dude's name is Asjara.
Okay.
Miniatures. And he's done some amazing conversions. There's a little shout out. I forgot what I was even saying. This is what happens when I go off track. I just struggle so hard. Right, so isn't Slaanesh dead?
I'm keeping a track on the chat, so anything we can go back to. So if you want to push on with the main stuff, and then I can revisit back to questions I've seen on the chat. Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is interesting. Torican, remember that they created the Custodes models when they were also developing the Primaris. So that's probably why they're the same sort of scale. They looked at them and went, yeah, we can't have Custodes smaller than the size of a Primaris. Although, something I want to talk about, which is quite exciting, is, for me anyway, actually, because I was looking at the Primaris chapter, which one I want to do, and I was looking through all of the different chapters. Now we've heard that potentially the new set is all going to be like Dark Vengeance. It's going to be single-posed miniatures. I'm really worried that the shoulder pads are going to be difficult to remove, because initially I was thinking I'll put Space Wolf or Dark Angel moulded custom shoulder pads onto them, and that was my idea initially. Now that isn't the case, or it doesn't look like it's the case, I'm going to have to use transfers. So the next thing for me was looking at all of Forge World's really cool transfer sheets, and one of the chapters, which I've never looked at before, was the Red Scorpions. And I looked into the background of the Red Scorpions, or what was available on Wikipedia, and they were talking about that they were pretty much made in the 5,000 years after the heresy. So in between that time of where the Primaris were being made, and they are, no one knows really about the background, where they come from, which is their founding chapter. Their gene seed is supposed to be more pure than even the Ultramarines. They're at like 94% purity. So my theory is I could do Red Scorpions and base them on an entire Primaris chapter and go with that whole background. So I'm covered on fluff. This is the first time I've done fluff over filth. I'm quite happy. Completely off topic, but I was just excited. And the transfers from Forge World are stunning, so worth looking up. Going back to Zach Daniels, isn't Slaanesh dead in Age of Sigmar? No, he is not dead, or she is not dead. Not yet, anyway, not confirmed. It's captured.
Absent without leave.
Yeah, Tyrion and Teclis and Malerion, I think it was, all three of them together, basically trapped Slaanesh, because I don't know if Slaanesh is a he or a she, I'm not sure. I'm going to say a he. I'm going to say a she. So Slaanesh was captured when she was overgorging on all of the spirits that she ate after the end times, basically. So the end times happened, she devoured all of the souls of the elves and maybe some other stuff while she was there, and she was just like digesting all of the souls, and the elves came along and were like, yo, you've just killed all of our brethren, and we're basically getting revenge. So Slaanesh at the moment is captured apparently, but we don't know if dead or alive. We'll have to see. There we go. Look, Slaanesh is captured by Tyrion and Malekith. So Malekith was blended with his dragon to become Malerion, which is kind of weird.
We should do a new section on WGO, and it should be called Storytime with Sam.
Some people don't like story though, so I apologise for those who don't like the background. We'll get back onto topics now. Danny Yates, where is WGO based? We are based in England, in Warwickshire, in the West Midlands, near Birmingham. That's the closest, I'd say. Right.
I was just wondering, actually, if anybody knows on the chat which Imperial armor book were the Red Scorpions in, because it sounds familiar. I've got a feeling it might well be the Anthelium project. I could be wrong, but if so, I've got that book. Yeah. Ooh. Might have a quick look at some point. We've got a couple of people that came in as well on the chat. Oh, hello from Helsing over 1988. Hello from Denmark. So somebody from Denmark. Daniel Alder's asking, what's our favourite factions in both AOS and 40k? Rachel. Do you want to go through that, Sam?
Yeah, Rachel, what's your favourite? So favourite faction in Age of Sigmar, Rachel?
Seraphon.
Cool. Ops. Favourite faction in 40k of what you've looked at already?
Space Puppies.
Okay. Mike, favourite faction in AOS?
Skaven.
Favourite faction in 40k?
Eldar.
Phil, favourite faction in AOS?
Caradon Overlords. Not even built them yet.
40k?
No, it's going to have to be Eldar. Eldar for the win.
And then mine, I've got no allegiances. But for the minute, Age of Sigmar is Iron Jaws, and 40k is Primaris. It's not even out yet, and it's Primaris. So I apologise to everyone who doesn't like Primaris, but I love them. That's a quick question done. Smurfs have 94% purity. No, I think they have 90%. It's the Red Scorpions that have got 94% purity. So that's pretty cool. Grey Knights are definitely the highest purity, I think. 100%, yeah.
Oh, Sam.
Oh, Phil. Maybe Red Scorpion Primaris. Okay, I'm going to have to... Can you bring that over tomorrow, please?
Wow, look at that.
Yeah, bring that over tomorrow, please.
Okay.
Right, okay, so the next bit is from Dan Laven. Now, this is a question. So, salutes a month in the past. Are you planning on going to any more events this year? And the answer is yes. What are we doing this weekend? Rachel, what's happening on Saturday?
So on Saturday we're going to ChillCon.
Where is ChillCon?
I think it's Sheffield, right?
Yeah.
I'm just being taken there. I don't know where we're going.
Yeah. You're being taken to Sheffield against your will. Blah, blah, blah.
It's not against my will. I'm well up for going. I'm just going to get in a car and see where we end up, though. So.
I wouldn't recommend that. Recommend it with everything, Rachel. Like, it definitely is not the way to go. Phil, can you tell us a little bit about ChillCon and what we are doing on Saturday?
We're getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning because we want to be there nice and early. No, we're not, Rachel. Yes, we're heading up there. We're obviously taking cameras. We are going to try and talk to as many people as possible. I think we're definitely going to, hopefully, from all the wonderful people there, maybe try and get a couple of demo games, even if we only film a little bit of it, so people can see a bit more than we managed to show at Salute when we were there. I mean, we were offered a few demo games, but it was just so busy. I think this time we're going to try and be a little bit more organized in getting some of that stuff done. So I'm excited about seeing some of the demo games. I'm excited about seeing some of the other manufacturers and what they're up to. I want to pick up some hobby products definitely this time because I kind of missed out. I managed to get one set of mask, airbrush mask, and I want to do a bit more shopping. So that's Saturday. Yes. That'll be it. I mean, obviously, we'll be saying hello to the lovely Spuds and Elster Nation and all the guys up there from Asylum and all the rest. So it's going to be very exciting. But come and say hello if you see us.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like there will be loads of things to do there. So, like you say, there's going to be lots of games to try. So I'm looking forward to that because you know that I love trying new games. and I'm just going to throw this in there. There's a cake stand. I think they're called like cosmic cakes or something. So I'm like excited about that. That's going to get me there.
Is it actually cakes though, or are you going to be disappointed?
No, I think it is. Hold on, let me just double check. Right. Cosmic Cakes is dedicated to providing the best quality baked goods and confectionery. If that doesn't say cakes, I don't know what does. So I'm happy.
Neil
And
Malden.
games. Cakes and games. What more could I want?
Neil Malden, do you all live in the same house like the Waltons?
Yes, let's just say yes. Let's have that.
Phil's up in the attic. Rachel's downstairs in the living room, and Mike is in the wardrobe at the moment. That's why it's so dark in there, isn't it, Mike? We feed him every now and again.
And every night we shout good night to each other. Good night, Rachel.
Oh, that'd be so cute if we did that.
Oh, wow. Jill Carl Edgar, first time I've caught the stream. Welcome. Thank you for joining. We've got a lot of booing from the drop podcast. Eldar, that's why. Yeah, well deserved. Boo. What else have we got?
Oh, I love this. Hold on, I've just seen a comment from Brain Spider. Remember, a space puppy is for life, not just for Fenrismas.
Daniel Older, do you have an uploading schedule? Daniel, our schedule is very loose at the moment. We are planning, the more we get towards making this, you know what, I'm well up for a schedule. The problem is it's very limited to what can be done currently at the moment, so we're doing our absolute best to get content up. At the minute we aim to do one battle report every week. One will be on YouTube on a Sunday if we can get it up, and one will be on the premium part of our website on a Sunday for the alternate week. Every Friday at the minute we've done a premium tutorial on the website as well, and they're normally between 10 and 30 minutes long, so that's been going up every single Friday since 3 months now, is it? 4 months that we've been going? So that's
Yes.
that's the longer premium tutorials. And then in between that, we've been doing a live chat every Wednesday. We've been doing our hobby hangout pretty much every Friday. And then in between, we've kind of filled things with what we can. So we've mixed in unboxings, quick tips, reviews, and other such videos. So the problem is we don't want to commit at the moment to a schedule and say, you know, we're going to bring out this on this day, this on this day, because if we don't, we'll disappoint everybody. So at the moment, we're just doing our best to release regular content. And when we can get to the point where we have a schedule, we'll definitely post it up. And at the minute, you just kind of get used to Wednesday chat, Friday chat, Sunday bat report, and then loads of other content in between. What else have we got?
We've got a couple of questions actually. We've got Drop Pod Cass saying, "Are we coming over from Nova this year?" I think the answer to that is unlikely. It would be lovely to, though. I think it's around about September. I'm trying to find actually, but obviously Googling Nova, you get lots back. But if I remember rightly, it's about September-ish. It's unlikely. It's definitely the US is something we've talked. If the channel continues to grow and if the website continues to grow, then we've all been talking very seriously about doing a bit of a more stuff in the US next year. You know, be that whether it's going to be Nova or help me out, Sam. What's the name of the thing that I've completely forgotten? Valhalla, thank you, or something like that. So we'll definitely be heading that way at some point. But this year, probably given we're just trying to get everything up and running over here, it would be a sizable chunk of time out for all of us. So.
And it's quite expensive for flights because we looked at Valhalla this year and we're going to do our best, but I think it's rather expensive just for a flight to where we need to be. And there was another place we were looking at as well, wasn't there? I mean, it's expensive, just flights more than anything. So we'll definitely try to get over there. Maybe plan everything in one go. Maybe just live in America for a few months and just try and cover as many places as possible.
Neddy the Ned said, "Will there be Conflict 47 at ChillCon?" Was the next question that was down on the chat.
Yeah, Warlord games are definitely there, so I imagine Conflict will be there.
Yeah.
And we went over it briefly in
We'll be there.
Salute, but we can definitely cover some more footage of Bolt Action and Conflict 47. I completely forgot the name for a second then. Brain Spider, it's pretty amazing how much WGO have managed to get out in such a short time. The reason for this is lack of sleep. Lack of sleep is the main reason, and dedication and hard work.
And telling Mike to put the lotion on his skin, or else he gets the hose again.
From the base. It's going to be great. As soon as we get more people available to like do the content, when we've got more painting tutorial, editing and painting stuff done, it's going to be a lot. It's going to go up in content basically, and it can only be done because of all of the premium support anyway. So it's absolutely legendary. We're going to call them legendary for the moment, that they've been supporting us from the very beginning, when there was only probably 15 videos on the premium part of the website. Now there's a lot more. So Brain Spider, I was going to ask you how you managed to get some sleep. At the minute, I don't. Yeah, at the minute it's 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning sometimes. But it's about getting content out. And I have had a lot of you on Facebook telling me to go to sleep at whatever time in the morning. Sam, go to sleep. Keep going to sleep. What else do you...
Matthew Lawless is asking, does the box set come with command dice? It comes with dice, but I don't think they're the command dice, are they? They're just standard dice.
Normal dice, I think.
D6. Yeah.
And a different ruler, a different tape measury thingy.
Mm.
Right, what are we going on to next? So that was the Saturday. So ChillCon, we've still not even gone over it. Yeah, there's going to be tons of stuff there. There's a whole list. If you go on chillcon.co.uk, you can check up all of the traders that are going to be there. We're going to be there as soon as possible. I think we're going to drive up with a car full. I think there's probably 6 or 7 of us that are going up in the morning, and we're going to take the camera and have a bit of a film and chat to loads of people. So if you're in the Sheffield area, just pop over and say hello. If you see us, pop over and say hello. And we'll get up as much content as we possibly can. We've got to leave at some time though, because on the Sunday we are going to Warhammer Fest in Rico Arena. It is Rico Arena in Coventry, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes.
Which is near us anyway, so it's not too bad. But Saturday is going to be ChillCon. Sunday is going to be Warhammer Fest. It's going to be fantastic, and we're really excited to go again. Last year it was pretty awesome. The queue wasn't too long. There was plenty of space. There was loads to look at. And Golden Demon is on the Sunday. So we're going to be filming as much as possible and taking pictures of as much things as we can, as many things as we can. And last year they had a bunch of the heavy metal team. There'll be the Warhammer Community team there as well. I'll probably get to see Duncan again and maybe Chris Peach. Say hello to both of those. And obviously the Forge World shop. Get to pop in there and see what they've got for sale.
Magnus.
Are you going to pick up Magnus, Phil?
Well, it's about the worst possible timing for Warhammer Fest, isn't it? Let's face it. So that was an absolute yes, I'm going to pick up Magnus. And then 8th edition release came along and it's like, what do I do? Yes, I'll probably pick up a Magnus. I probably will. How can I not really, after shouting Magnus repeatedly on the channel for so many months?
I don't know what I can buy. Potentially, I might buy Rachel another Custodian Dreadnought for a 40k army. But all of my money is going into... You sound really excited, Rach. No, you will like 40k when you play. You're just obsessed with Age of Sigmar at the moment.
But at the minute, you're saying that you're going to buy me something. I have no idea what it is or what it does. So you may as well be saying you're going to buy me a tin of paint or something. It doesn't really mean a lot to me.
You're going to get an awesome Dreadnought that's going to kill stuff, Rach. Happy?
Yay!
I don't know if I'm going to pick anything up because so much of the money is going to go on to that Primaris company. So I think I'm probably going to wait. Mike, what are you looking forward to at Warhammer Fest?
Everything. I think I've been once or twice before.
Yeah.
The only thing I found difficult was that I keep saying I want to go over the Saturday and the Sunday because of all the seminars and stuff as well. It's difficult to get around everything in one day, I found.
Yeah.
But if I'm only going on the one day, the Sundays I always prefer to go because of the Golden Demon and seeing all the nice models and stuff, and then getting a bit jealous that I can't paint like that.
One day, just keep painting.
One day.
The Orc Boys, I found your channel after seeing you on Wargamer Girls channel. Yes, Miranda invited us over there, and we joined their live chat. It was me and Phil. That was at 3 a.m, I think. That was quite a late one for Phil. But it was good. Miranda's really nice, and Dan is as well. Dan, who Codex Dan, is a very prominent Orc player. just chucks everything into a list and plays it. So he's quite nice to chat to as well. So that was nice of both of those. Thank you for coming over to this chat. Anyway, boys, £95 have you discussed? This is from Simi.
That's for the starter set, yeah. So
yes,
yes, we discussed it briefly. The thing I didn't realise, and Sam had to point it out to me last night, was it actually comes with the full rule book, the full hardback rule book in there. So, and when you actually look at what's in there for £95, I think that's a hell of a price for that. It's fantastic. Don't know whether everybody agrees on that, but for me, you're getting a lot for your money for £95.
Definitely. And how many are we picking up, Phil?
Oh, a few. Unless it's talking about 5.
Yeah.
5.
So we're going to have a few books.
5.
There's going to be a book each. It's going to be great.
James
Jones is buying a Daima Charon. Is that how you pronounce that? And a Malanthrope as well.
Yeah. Great model. Love that. I met the designer on the weekend it was released, and she was an absolute brilliant lady. And she spent ages talking to my son about 3D design and everything. So fantastic model and a fantastic designer as well. So really, really cool. Mm-hmm. By the way, I just think if anybody's ever seen that model and not liked it, try and just have a look around at people who've posed it differently. Because for some reason, when they kind of did it for the catalog shots, they kind of did it going, hey, like this. And it just looked a bit strange. But if you kind of pose it differently and have it more in a kind of running stance, it looks amazing. Yeah.
Grumbleback is asking for the last time, he says. We must have missed it. There's a lot of chat, Grumbleback, so I apologise if we don't go through all of them. So you're asking, are the command dice used like the command dice in bolt action? There's no information yet. Oh, no, there is information. It's not like picking them out of a bag. It's probably just to keep track of what you have used your command dice for, because depending on the force organisation chart that you have, you're allowed a certain amount of command points to use. So the dice, I imagine, are going to be able to track it in a certain way, and there may be some generic command abilities or command things that you can do, and the dice will represent that. So I do not think they're going to be used in the same way as they are in bolt action. They're just a new special dice for you to track what you're doing with your command points. Imagine if they sold a few copies of 8th edition at Warhammer Fest. I don't think they will, but it's definitely on demo, so we'll be able to see the rules on Sunday and Saturday and try it out and see what it's like. Matthew Lawless, can't wait for Primaris Dreadnought. Neither can I. I can't wait for anything. Primaris at the beginning of the name and I'll buy it. Just don't tell Rachel. I'll wait, she's in the chat. And Akari has put #Dreadsaurian for Rachel. You know, if we get a bunch of premium subscribers to pay for Rachel's Dreadsaurian, then she can have a Dreadsaurian, no problem. #Dreadsaurian for Rachel. Tim San, I've only recently found you guys having just got into AOS. Do you only play AOS and 40k, or will you be covering other systems too? So Tim, the primary focus for all of us at the moment, I'm going to say, is Games Workshop games. So it is Age of Sigmar, it is 40k. We're very much a Games Workshop channel. So a lot of the content will be related towards that. However, we've already done interviews and we've played games off camera for multiple systems. This year is the first time we've really looked into other games that aren't Games Workshop. So there's definitely a lot that we want to get into. So Warlord Games, a lot of their games are worth looking at. What else have we got? There's Hordes and War Machine. That's definitely one that the models are nice. We want to try that. We've got Frostgrave. We've already bought the book and a bunch of models to try Frostgrave out.
We've got Walking Dead as well, haven't we?
Walking Dead, yeah. Mantic Games sent us the Walking Dead, and we did an unboxing on that, and that's awesome. Rachel was really excited to try that because we did it. Well, you and Phil played the game off camera, didn't you?
Yeah. We just sort of tried the tutorial.
So tried that. So
it's great fun.
The problem is, at the minute, we're limited on time, and we were talking about that schedule earlier, that we're limited to what we can do. So definitely in the future.
Well, that might be worth jumping into Danny's question on the chat actually, which was Danny Yates says, if your channel grows, would you be looking into expanding your team? And he says, this is not me asking for a job, by the way. Absolutely, yes. We want to expand the team, and realistically, Sam, you're the only one that's sort of full and a half time on this, and the rest of us are kind of helping out, aren't they? So part of it will be about being able for the rest of the team I think particularly Mike, to be able to put more time into the channel as well. That's what we're hoping for. And then, yes, we do want to expand the team. And just a point on covering, that would obviously enable us to cover more systems as well, but also it would enable the studio facilitates us being able to cover more systems. So, for instance, I'm going in a few days' time to kind of do a playthrough on Route 666. So, you know, we'll be doing little things like that as well. So we can still feature those other stuff, but as Sam said, will primarily be about Games Workshop system.
Mm-hmm. Brain Spider, Sam will be leaving Warhammer Fest with some smuggled Primaris. Yeah, I might have to just nudge some of the GW staff members and say, please, please, can I just take one?
You need to get a scan of the rules as well.
Yes. Need to run a fundraiser to get Rachel a Dreadsaurian. Yeah, we'll start a Kickstarter just for Rachel's Dreadsaurian.
It's a really limited Kickstarter, that, isn't it? That is like...
What do you get back? You get the you get a smile from Rachel. Rachel will put up a video thanking everybody for funding her Dreadsaurian.
You get a picture of it.
You've not seen the Dreadsaurian rules yet, have you, Rach?
Nope. It just sounds cool.
It's probably absolutely disgusting, so we're not going to show you the rules. Otherwise, you're going to want one. Shadow Wars Armageddon is really fun. You guys should build a team and run a campaign. Again, another thing we're looking at doing. We've already got all of the stuff for Armageddon. We've got the city board. Priority was getting the studio done. The studio is now done. We just need to start filming games. And we need to put some sound dampening up there as well, actually. But pretty much
a little bit more. We've definitely improved it, but we need a bit more, don't we?
Yes. So Shadow War Armageddon is definitely one we're looking at doing, and we're going to look at Age of Sigmar Skirmish as well, because both of those, I mean, we're going to be playing 40k, we're going to be playing Age of Sigmar, they're skirmish versions of it. We're not going to need to buy new models, and if we do, it's only going to be small amounts, so we'll be filming that sort of stuff. And we're doing more live chats on the premium side of the website as well, asking for what content our premium members want, because we're going to be doing more in-depth stuff over there. We try and do as much as we can on YouTube, and we put that out for free. We don't put any adverts on our videos, and the premium side of stuff we just try to go in depth. So for we've got stuff on the website where you can suggest games that we play, and you can vote for certain things that we do. So that's definitely a way that we're going to look at doing content. If people want to see Shadow War Armageddon, we'll do some Shadow War Armageddon games, and we'll go from there.
I mean, like you say, it's more an issue of time more than anything, isn't it? Like, we've got all these games and we really want to play them, but it's just finding the time to actually do it and then edit it and all that.
Return. Every backer gets a signed photo of Rachel posed with the Dreadsaurian. That's a good reward. Right, cool. So that's Warhammer Fest and what we're doing at the weekend.
Busy.
Ooh. Coming up to an hour now.
Who's driving all this weekend?
Driving. Rachel's going to be doing interviews though, and I'll be filming.
Am I? What?
Yeah, we are going to have to be careful how much we buy on Sunday, because every single seat in the car, it's 7 seats will be taken up, I think, now. So there's going to be limited storage space. So expect to be coming home with your purchases on your lap.
Yeah, I'm not buying anything.
Thanks, Phil.
Right, what else was there? So, Ian Robinson, have the Dark Imperium starter set models been confirmed as posable or clipped together? I'm seeing mixed signals. Warhammer Community have definitely said they like the models from Dark Vengeance, so that is unposable, clipped together models, and that's as far as Warhammer Community is posted. As far as that goes, I'm not sure if that means the shoulder pads and the heads are separate. I imagine it's all going to be one way to stick them together.
I can't remember who it was who made the point on the chat last time we discussed this, and it's quite a valid one though, is that starter set is designed to get new people into the hobby. So the more complex they are to build, the slower it is before you can start playing your first game. So as much as you want to hear the opposite, Sam, I wouldn't be surprised if the shoulder pads and the heads are all part of the model and they'll just click together. But that doesn't stop me and you having some fun with little tiny hacksaws and stuff and reposing them.
I know, but there's going to be 100 Marines to hack.
Yeah, I know. That's like 10 minutes work maximum.
I think it's going to be a much faster process.
Hobby on down.
I'll just find No, I'll find a chapter that's got nice transfers, like red scorpions, and stick them to the models. Take a trailer and a roof rack. Yeah, you've got a roof rack, Phil. That's a point. We could put Rachel on the roof. That gives us another seat.
I'm not exactly sure that's the point that they were making.
What were you saying then, Rachel? You do that. When you laugh, you go so high pitched. I struggle.
Only dogs heard me then.
Yeah, it's like bloopers. The bloopers. I don't know if that's in this month, so it's not out yet, actually. There's a bit where Rachel starts saying something, but she's so... Actually, it might have been in the battle report between you and Phil. It might have been in there. You just go into high-pitched whistle mode. And nobody knew what you said. Even the dogs are looking at you. Think about the Overkill box set. The models had separate heads and pads. Yeah, hopefully it is like that, Jonathan.
We can hope. We can definitely hope.
Research from Imperial College. I can't even read that out. Right. Frost and Fist, welcome. Meet
Bye,
us.
Frost. He's heading off for a meeting. See you later, man.
What, Frost and Fist is heading off?
Going
on to a meeting.
Oh,
I just read
he
the
might
rest
be
of it.
saying hello,
No.
but he's got to be going into this meeting. So, yes.
Dance Macabre is saying, models are more valuable, Rachel.
Cheers, dude.
The shoulders might be clippable. Oh, come on. Let's hope. Let's hope. This is the...
I think there's more hoping than reality going on.
This would be the icing on the cake. Right, cool. Have they said what... This is from Ian Robinson again. Have they said what the hinted at codexes will actually contain if the rules, data sheets, and points are in the other books? So... If it's anything to go by, like the Age of Sigmar Battles homes that have been released, there's going to be a huge chunk of background and story at the beginning, and I mean a lot. And we've seen that from, what was it, the Warhammer Quest books. Warhammer Quest Hammerer's Shadow over Hammerhall?
Yes.
That book was chock full of background and story, so... The new codexes are probably going to contain that with a lot of information about where your army is, what they're doing in the current crusades, and the rest of the book will probably be some heavy metal pictures and then some more detailed, because there's not there's not like battalion rules, formation rules, are they? But there are stratagems and probably special items you can buy, and that will all be in the book as well. What else do we have?
With excessive magnetization, which, by the way, I saw one of your posts the other day, and I get where you get your name from there.
Yeah.
Literally just magnetize. I mean, it's kind of fairly obvious, though, but yes, you magnetize literally everything together. I think me and you could have a magnet off if I show you some of my Eldar wear. You could just, it's crazy.
It was his demon prince. Was it his big demon prince with different arms?
We made washing the dishes more enjoyable. In fact, actually, it's my nids that are worse, I think, in terms of magnetization. Things like every option on the Swarm Lord and stuff magnetized. Wings, arms, weaponry, everything. Anyway.
The shoulder pads on the Primaris look bigger than Space Marines, but they're saying we can still use our regular Marine shoulders. Do you think it'll look funny? I think they are the same size. Genuinely think they are the same size, and if they say they will fit, I think that means they are the same scale. When Gilliman was released, initially it was like, wow, his head is tiny, he's got a pinhead compared to the scale of other models, but now looking at it, the Primaris have got the same sized head as a Space Marine, same sort of shoulder pads. It's their legs and their torsos that have been positioned differently, and their arms, so that's where they've got that true scale look from. It's not the shoulder pads or the head, because they were already quite big.
I've just seen Brain Spider say, I want Primus jet bikes. Oh, dear. Can you imagine?
I said if they did Primaris jet bikes, I'd be doing White Scars. Hand down.
How much stuff do you think they're going to get from what they've said so far? Do you think there's going to be more than that still as well? Like they did with the Stormcasts and Khorne for AOS. You was like almost a year's worth of stuff? Like every other month you kept getting?
I hope they do it faster. The problem is I've just committed to 100 infantry. So if I do White Scars now, I've got 100 infantry to do, and then the equivalent of bikes.
So what have you actually said about Primaris anyway? Like, Have they said actually what is going to be released or which armies it goes with? Like, what's the deal?
Did you watch any of our content, Rachel?
It's been like traveling. In my defense,
I don't think that's the answer.
yeah.
I love that. Rachel asked a really open question. It's good for debate. It's just, Rachel, did you watch any of our videos? Rachel, they can go with any Imperial army. You can add them to any Space Marine chapter as well. So it's up to you, basically. They can go with anyone, but you will be able to field them on their own, I think. But right now they're tactically limited because you're just getting some standard dudes and a heavy weapons team and a captain or something like that, isn't it? So,
But they have said there's going to be the Terminators, Dreadnoughts, and vehicles, I think, as well.
yes,
That's what they've said so far.
Oh, okay, so
And-
it's not just infantry then.
no. So look out for Sam wanting to spend an absolute fortune within minutes of the main system coming out.
This is why, I mean, Turrican's just said, don't you want to wait for the individual sets? One of the reasons why I'm going to be spending, buying 5 boxes is it's actually going to be a lot cheaper than buying the individual sets later on. Although they're not going to be multi-posed, I think there's 10 different poses in the Marines already. So I'm going to have 5 Marines out of 50 of each type. Obviously, they're going to look the same, but I don't think it's going to be too much of an issue. I can still chop off their arms and reposition bits on them. And put different heads on, because I've been looking. Interestingly, Danny Yates, I've got 50 spare Space Wolf heads if you need any. Space Wolves is one that I was looking at. Maybe Dark Angels as well. White Scars, Red Scorpions, and Black Templars. They're all on the list, but all one of the new
Yeah, you still haven't picked one yet, have you?
I haven't picked one. So there's a lot on the cards, but the reason I bought those boxes is because of how cheap they are. You can sell the books. I don't think I'll sell the books because 5 of them we will use them. That's one for Phil, one for me, one for the studio, and then 2 to give out to whoever needs them. So we've got 5 books. We'll use them, to be fair. So
We might do a giveaway. We could do a giveaway on the channel with one or something like that. We were saying, because we couldn't quite make our mind up whether we needed all 5, could we? So, and that was a question earlier. Will we do a giveaway? If we definitely get to the point where we think there's a book sitting around doing nothing, then we'll give it away.
Zach Daniels, Blood Angels. No, I'll never do Blood Angels. I don't know why. I just won't. Black Templars maybe. Yeah. Kind of worried. This is from Marbury's. I'm kind of worried what's going to happen to Psychers. Smite looks cool, but I don't know. Yeah. If it's like Age of Sigmar, I'm really looking forward to the psychic changes, which it is like Sigmar, to be fair. It makes the phase a lot more straightforward to play, less faffing with needing to roll at the beginning. You know, when you start a game and you roll in for warlord traits, you roll in for psychic powers. If you've got a psychic army, you're rolling and rolling and rolling. By the time you've explained to your enemy what all of your spells do, you've already wasted half an hour to 40 minutes just going over your lists. If now you know going in, you're going to play with a certain ability, a certain psychic power, you've got a warlord trait which you can pick or effectively pick. Going to speed things up, and then in playing the game it's a lot quicker as well. You roll 2 dice if you can cast that spell, and some characters will be able to cast 3 or 4 spells, and it's dead simple. You don't need to think about rolling a dice and maybe getting up to 6 dice to spend or 10 dice to spend. You just roll 2 dice and cast it or not.
I might do Blood Angels.
What, Phil?
Primus Blood Angels. That'd be so cool.
Phil, you've got 1,000 armies to do. The thing is, right, I don't have one
Rachel.
40k
Does that
army.
remind you of Sam?
Rachel, if I paint you Primus Blood Angels, would you use them?
Obviously.
So it's a deal.
For God's
Glad
sake,
we could
Phil.
agree.
That's cool. I may stick Gene Stealer heads, hybrid heads on my Primaris for a laugh. Yeah, you'd be like, yeah, pure, whatever. This is definitely not pure.
Ryan Benfield, will the points values be in the back of an index or in the match play part of the rule book, like the General's Handbook?
Rulebook, I think. That's the
Yeah.
way that rulebook is. The rulebook is effectively the General's Handbook with a big background fluff section.
So what we see in the faction books, the indexes, are going to be essentially lists of the armies, but probably the new equivalent of formations, you know, some special bonuses, command points, etc.
Yeah.
For taking certain structure. whereas the rule book will probably just contain essentially an army listing and the point system, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
Turrican says I'm going to be doing Primus Red Scorpions. That is a great idea because I've got the book and everything.
After I've even done the research on it today, this is what Phil does like very regularly. I'll have an interest in something, and then Phil will just decide that that's interesting for him as well, and he'll join in on it. And then I'll have to scrap the idea and think for another 6 months about what I'm going to do next. And the problem is Phil paints so quickly that he just beats me. Whatever I pick, he'll beat me. See you later, Danny. Thanks for joining. Legion of the Damned Primaris. So the last bit, actually the last question we had was from Kablams, which is about AOS skirmish games. Are we going to do it for the channel? And we are, but it's just a matter of time. Just a matter of time. Carcharodons. Yes. What I need actually is if you know somewhere that you can buy transfer sheets from, or somebody knows where you can get good quality transfer sheets from, let me know, because that will expand the chapter options and make it even harder to pick. Right, we've been going
to see a sorry, I just saw a comment from Brain Spider. Does Rachel paint minis at all?
Yeah, just laugh.
Do you even paint broke? No, I don't even paint my own nails, so no.
Mike does Rachel's nails. Sam does the arm.
Rachel is something that has been requested, and we will be doing painting with Rachel at the studio. We've got the space for it. We're going to get a camera. We're going to get the isometric camera pointing down at what she's painting, and because she's never done it before, we're going to just sit next to her and teach her how to paint and see how it goes, and we'll see if Rachel can paint some stuff for once.
We are quite literally going to watch paint dry.
This is why she's so excited. The thing is, she's never done this painting side of the hobby, so it is a chore for a lot of us. She can't be bothered to learn it more than anything. I think you've got better things to do with your time, like tell me what to paint and then go and play games with that time instead of painting. So this is the problem. Maybe one day we'll see. Imperial Fists. Yes, I was looking at Imperial Fists today as well, actually. I've done the Imperial Fist army for Horus Heresy in the past, and I know how quickly I can paint them. I could do about 10 Marines in about an hour or something, 2 hours max, and they don't look half bad, so I'm tempted to do them. Brain Spider, how fast do you paint, Phil? I painted a Deathwatch army and AOS Nurgle army in 10 weeks. Phil, what was the model count down to the Sylvaneth? What was each Dryad? Per Dryad, what was the paint time?
4 minutes, I think, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't. It was a minute.
Was it? Oh, it was a minute. I got it down to 60 seconds. I worked out. Yeah, I did 3,000. There was 3,200 points of Sylvaneth, and I did it in 3 days. Mm-hmm. But as I said, the last day was really just on Alariel. I spent the whole day on that one model.
Yeah.
So
2 days to do the rest, and
I think that's the fastest I've done. I think the closest that came to that was probably my Tyranids, but I've gone back and painted them twice, so I'm going to count each paint job as one paint job because the first paint job formed like a base layer to the second paint job. So
yeah,
I wasn't very happy with them.
That will be a show. So there's people wanted to see the painting with Rachel's show already. And Zach Daniels, but ignore them, Rachel. I'd much rather play than paint. The thing is, though, Zach, is if Rachel won't paint them, that means we have to paint them for her, and because we won't play.
That's not true. I did say I would paint them, but I said I'd just dip them into a pot of paint. And you didn't like that.
Yeah, funny that. Testers decal paper, not bad for printing decals. I printed some custom. Okay, cool. Definitely. Cheers for that. Drop podcast. We'll look into that. How comes Phil's Sylvaneth aren't your favourite AOS? Because you've
that's a question for Phil. Then.
Beardy Karajon, isn't it, Phil?
Yes, because as ever, once you finish a project, you very quickly, or at least I do. You know, I still like my Sylvaneth. That's absolutely right. And I've not even played them all yet on battle reports. I've yet to use Alariel, and I've got all sorts in there. I've got the Tree Lords. I've got Dirthu. So all of those things I really want to use. So I still like my Sylvaneth, but in terms of the models. The Kharadron Overlords, it's just all the crazy detail, the weird steampunk ships and stuff. I've always been a bit of a fan of steampunk. and I've got a whole Baron Harkonnen, Dune sort of vibe going off with them as well. So I was tempted in doing them gloss black, but they'd look awful, wouldn't they? So I won't do them like that. But
The other reason,
when you get an idea in your head, that's a lot better than how it would actually come out.
The other reason was I was really excited for these steampunky dwarves, and then Phil just stole the thunder and was like, "They're mine, Bagsid, beards, dwarves, technical, fly-in, metallics," and I was just like, "Yeah, this suits Phil more than me, 100%." And I think you'd sold them by that point, didn't you? Just flying airships.
I like Sam teaches Rachel to paint could be like the scene from Patrick Swayze and Demi Moore in Ghost. That would be one. No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't be like that. It would be more like that time when a lion got into a bear compound in a zoo.
Katie Hunter Dune minis would be cool. Yes, they would. You'd love that as well, wouldn't you, Phil? You'd do an Army of Dune.
Oh, yes. Yeah. It's one of the reasons I quite liked Mechanicum, because I think a lot of their, and I'm talking the Forge World ones, the 30k ones, a lot of their equipment and tanks and vehicles that have that vibe going for them.
Mm. And that's why you got the desert board as well.
Yes, it is indeed. And in fact, anyway, let's move on. I'm going to start talking about something that isn't 40k then.
Which is?
Yeah, that's okay, right?
We can do non-40k related stuff. Is it wargaming related or cool related or nerdy related?
Well, it's kind of nerdy related. My Gene Stealer cult all work for the Shai Hulud Mining Corporation.
Oh, okay.
Which of course is the name of the worm from Dune.
That's fine. That's related to the Dune conversations. That's not an issue. Brain Spider again. Next time you see an army you want, order some before telling Phil so he can't steal the army. That's a great idea. I just don't know if I can. My problem is I like talking about what I'm going to do more than I actually just doing it. Just so I could get Mike telling me, just do it, just get on with it. Maybe. No, Mike, actually, you put up with it better. Phil tells me just to get on with it and do it. And Mike properly sits down for a good couple of hours.
I try to help you out to narrow things down for you, because you normally have such a wide choice of things. Like the Primaris in the chapter you're going to do. You start off with such a wide choice of what you can do. And I try and narrow it down till I get it down to like 2. But then it's like, sweet, he'll have it picked soon. Next day, he starts talking about 10 of them again. And it just goes around until he starts putting paint on it. Well, even then, when you put paint on something, you still change your mind quite quickly.
Yeah, I mean, you are the most patient person when it comes to talking to you about armies.
Yeah,
so I do like that. That is nice. I appreciate it. Right, we've been rambling for a while. You're a very good friend. What's happening tomorrow? We'll talk about that actually in a second. No, we'll talk about it now. So tomorrow, I thought it was 9 o'clock, but it's actually 8 o'clock BST. So 8 o'clock, we are having Gav Thorpe on for an interview. We've put a link up on the website. I'll put it in the description after this, but if you go onto the website, wargameronline.com, is it under the community section, Phil?
Yes, it is. Ask Gav.
Ask Gav. So there's a link on the website. Click on that, and then do you have to be a member? Do you have to make a free account?
No, it's open to everybody.
Okay. So you just go onto the website, leave a question for Gav tomorrow, and we'll compile a list. And we've got our own, but we're going to add it to it as well. So if you've ever wanted to ask a little bit more about the background, some of the books that he's written, any of the mechanics, even mechanics on 8th edition, what you think Gav thinks about it, anything that you want to ask him, put it in that form and we'll put it on the list and we'll go through as many as possible with him. So what is his Space Wolves project Ryan Cunningham has? Put it on that, go onto the website, stick it on there, and we'll definitely go through it. So that's going to be 8 o'clock. We have Phil is going to be doing the interview. I think I'll be there. I'll be in the chat. I'll probably be typing to everybody, but that will be a really interesting one. Friday we've got Hobby Hangout. It's going to be 9 o'clock again, but it might be an earlier one. It might be like an hour-long show rather than an hour and a half to 2 hours that we normally go to, because we've got the events over the weekend, so it's going to be quite a long one. Any War Machine or Horde players in chat? John Wilson says that was one thing we're looking at. I'm going to do a separate show, I think, maybe in a couple of weeks, because I've not even looked properly at War Machine or Horde. So I might do a live, bring up the browser sort of thing and have a chat about it on there. So that's pretty much everything. So thank you to everyone who has joined us on this show. It's been another nice, lovely Wednesday evening. We appreciate everybody joining us for these, because it's really nice to see the same people and new faces popping up every single time we go live. Thank you to everyone who's thumbed up the videos, because it does help us spread. And if you click the little notification, we're still getting messages on a daily basis saying, when is the next show? When is the next show? Click the notification next to the subscribe button. You've got to be subscribed for it to do that. And you'll get a notification as soon as we go live, or as soon as a new video comes out. So that's pretty much it. Other than that, have an absolutely fantastic rest of the evening. Have a great day tomorrow, and we'll see you at 8 o'clock in the evening for that wonderful interview. So thank you to everyone on the Hangout, Rachel, Mike, and Phil, all for joining. And we'll see you tomorrow.
No problem. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.
Is anybody there? It just felt like I was there, just talking to myself. And we skipped the bullying phase as well. This has been a great evening.
Oh, we've missed that.
You all forgot. Right, see you later. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.